Hey guys, welcome back. All right, we are going to do a movie review of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Sorry it's taken us a while. One, we watched this movie twice, and as we said in the short I posted on YouTube, we wanted to do the review once we saw it a second time to see if anything changed or there were any points of view that might have been cleared up a little bit more. And also we had some family stuff going on, so it's been a week and a half or a couple weeks, because the first time we saw it a couple of
Week and
weeks
a half.
ago, yeah, and the second time we saw it was middle of last week, this last week that just passed. And both versions we got to see it in 3D. So as we said in the short, we loved this movie, and our opinion of it did not change the second time around. I think we all came out of the theater pretty happy with everything we've seen. You know, in this non-spoilery section, I guess we can talk about how amazing it looks. You know, and it seems like this was not only filmed for that surround screen. What the fuck is it called? I forget. Not 40x, but like it's not IMAX, because IMAX is just in front of you. It's like that surround screen. I saw a movie like
I
that.
forget.
Is that what it's called? But it was also filmed with the intent of showing it in 3D, and it's my understanding the majority of the tickets that have allowed this movie to be so successful were 3D tickets. Yeah, so visually it looks amazing. I love the music too. I don't know what you thought about that.
I did.
It's
I mean,
Michael Giacchino, right?
that's just
again.
a constant with Spider-Man in general. It's not surprising for the music to be great. I went
Yeah.
into it expecting that.
And there were some videos that I was watching where I heard him talk that it's really interesting that he had the main Spider-Man theme again in this movie, but it had changed with the purpose of, this is not a spoiler because if you're watching this, you've already seen No Way Home and you know what happened at the end of that movie. That he purposely removed some notes out of the melody to kind of parallel Peter, you know, and the world of Peter, like losing bits of memory and having missing people and missing portions of events out of the storyline. So the missing notes equal that. And I thought that was like really cool because while it felt familiar, in the background you could feel that something was different.
Yeah.
And of course they're also like, you know, putting that in the title cards. You know, you can see how there's certain events from No Way Home and in the past movies would just all of a sudden disappear. Like you could clearly see MJ, that moment where she kisses Peter and all of a sudden he just disappears from the picture while she's doing that. Yeah, all that stuff. So I think in that sense the movie was very detail oriented. It made sure to make it feel like it was part of, even though this is the fourth movie, you know, it's not Tom's fourth movie. He's been in way more movies in the MCU, if I'm not mistaken, like 6 or 7 of them,
Something like that.
But
This is his fourth
fourth solo movie. But they made sure to make it feel inclusive of the other 3. That it's very much part of a larger world. So all those details were great, and I think the music choices were really cool. There's certain rock songs, or like popular songs, if you want to call them, that were used in certain scenes that I felt like were really neat choices that pair up with the OST. Yeah, I thought everyone's acting in this. We'll get into Sadie Sink's character a little bit later on in the spoilers, although to be honest, it was kind of obvious who she was, to me at least, and to most Spider-Man fans and just Marvel fans. It was, and with the D23 recently being released, everybody knows who she is. But I thought her reveal was done in a very cool manner, and just Zendaya, Tom, everybody's just always on point with their acting. But for me, I guess you can talk about what your opinion is. For me, this is my favorite Tom Spider-Man movie.
Easily the best Tom Holland movie. I would argue it's close to being my favorite Spider-Man movie in general.
Mm-hmm. I still love the second Toby movie. I think they all have something special to carry, but I do love the second Toby Spider-Man movie. But of the
That
Tom
one,
Holland movies, this is my favorite.
that one is still my favorite, the one with Doc Ock. But
It tends to be a lot of people's favorite. It's just, I don't know. I do
This
like the
comes
first
close.
one too, but the second one, just the storytelling of the second one and the reveal moments are all like so really cool. The moment with Mary Jane and Peter.
this comes close.
Yeah. It's just so much fun to fucking watch, honestly. Everybody's work in the movie, and I feel like Tom just really hit all the emotional points. You felt for him throughout the movie, you know what I mean? And also you cheered along when, you know, he had his like really great moments as Spider-Man. And yeah, I just find it hard to like get into that without spoiling too much. I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch upon without getting into the spoiler section.
I think we can get into it now.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much at this point, I think there's a lot of people that have watched it already. So, but I do still want to respect anyone who hasn't watched it yet. And I have a feeling the movie's going to be in theaters for a while because it's still doing pretty well, I believe. Yeah, although I don't doubt at some point Disney's going to want to get it to streaming services pretty soon. But if you have not seen it yet and don't want to get spoiled, this is the moment for you to turn off. So 3, 2, 1, go. You want to start with some spoiler stuff?
Yeah. So, I do think like the message overall of this movie, like at least what I get from it, is a message that I tend to be a huge fan of in storytelling. Maybe other people got different interpretations of it. But the theme of like self-actualization, I guess, and identity, and sort of like embracing various aspects of yourself and embracing change, like, you know, that's a theme that definitely resonates with me a lot. And Peter's whole situation in this movie, I think, is a pretty good embodiment of that. You know, he's been carrying this weight for 4 years since No Way Home.
And not just for him, for Sadie's character too, which we can say right now is Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Because she has a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He's been carrying, like you said, continue with Peter.
He's been like sort of like carrying all this responsibility alone, not even like, you know, teaming up with like the other Avengers or anything, because they don't remember him either.
That's another big theme in this.
Yeah, sort of like
allowing others to help you.
Yeah. He was forgotten by everybody, so he became like eventually loved again by New York, obviously, because Spider-Man always like
he was working overtime saving people. Yeah,
that's just Spider-Man, you know. That was always gonna happen. But he was trying to do it alone all these years, which is different from how he operated before.
Yeah,
and you know, he's obviously really torn up, in particular about MJ and Ned not remembering who he is, but he's trying to, like, you know, hide that. You know, he's keeping up with their lives, like,
through social media.
Basically, kind of stalking them on social media, sort of
bit.
like, you know, keeping up with them, like, you know.
To be fair, Ned is kind of stalking Spider-Man too. Even though he keeps saying he's not a weirdo, he is.
He's got his room full of stuff.
Yeah, and he's created a special Spidey tracker
he
and
thought
device.
Flash Thompson was Spider-Man, which is hilarious.
So crazy, yeah. But I love too that the theme. Yeah, it's about self-identity and accepting yourself and valuing every part of yourself and embracing change. But also, I thought it was really special, all the relationships he develops throughout the movie with Frank Castle.
Yeah.
Realizing
their
that no matter how...
is so funny.
Yes, it's so good. You can clearly see the two of them have been friends for years. It's palpable throughout the entire movie. That back and forth is just seamless going on between the two of them. And they're just so fucking different from each other. Their approaches to everything is so different, but they work so well together in a certain way because of that. The
contrast is like,
it just works.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic.
And
it's like this like grizzled, like, you know, battle hardened, like older dude, I guess, just like, you know,
who doesn't like letting anybody in, and Spider-Man is the opposite.
And then you have this
he
kid,
just lets
like,
everybody in. And he's so sweet.
Yeah,
but that I think that chemistry on screen would not have worked otherwise. had they not had like a really great relationship and been real friends in real life. Because I've watched interviews of theirs, and they still have a great back and forth between each other.
Yeah.
It's just really fucking cool. And not only that, but the relationship he builds with Mark Ruffalo as Professor Hulk, seeking for guidance and for, you know, a little bit of inspiration and admiration.
I love that
and
conversation
him embracing
too.
his change too.
Because the whole thing with Banner telling him, like, you know,
how do you get to choose?
How do you choose, like, what parts of your DNA to suppress and what parts to keep? Like, who's to say what parts of you are good or bad?
It's like yourself too. Like, why would you? You know, as people as a whole, we have our bad and good side. Everybody does, right? And suppressing those parts of you, you're not complete. You're not a whole person when you suppress that. And once you learn to love yourself and understand every aspect of yourself, you become a whole person. So I feel like that moment for me got me teary-eyed because I feel that. You know what I mean? Like how can you judge that?
One thing we forgot to mention is we really loved this iteration of the Hulk. I love Mark Ruffalo, but I was kind of missing having the Hulk be this way, and I'm just really grateful that he was finally given a chance to shine like that, and I hope we get more of that Hulk.
What you get to keep, what you get to get rid of.
You can understand Peter's perspective because out of nowhere he's
afraid
due to his stress and his like depression with everything going on and everything. Like, you know,
and
MJ.
Spiders in nature, they can be very aggressive too, so it's dangerous.
His arachnid hormones are going all out of whack. He's got these new like spider-like abilities that he doesn't know how to control.
It's scary, yeah.
You know, shooting organic webs out his wrists all over the place. Like totally Spider-Man.
And I think that moment when he sees it for the first time come out all gooey and he's like,
yeah.
That just made me cackle a little bit.
He's all disoriented, discombobulated and everything, like, you know, and he's, you know, he's like, I can't do anything like this. Like, I can't be what people need me to be like this. Like, this is a part of myself that I don't like, that appeared out of nowhere.
In doing that he's creating something so dangerous, too, because he's creating that inhibitor, that universal inhibitor. I was like, thinking about it, the more I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute, is this like the beginning of the inhibitor that they put on the X-Men? Because, you know, they put collars on mutants, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, are they suggesting in this movie that that's how it comes about? Well, so anytime there's like a device created, it always ends up in the wrong fucking hands somehow, because this is what happened to Peter. It ended up in damage control, and they used it against Jean.
Yeah.
And she was actually the victim, her and her sister.
Yeah.
So in trying to suppress his own DNA, he's gonna start, you know, helping suppress other mutants. Because if we're gonna step into the X-Men world, and Jean was clearly taking off to Westchester County at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
She's heading over to, like, you know,
going to
the X-Men mansion. Yeah. Yeah, no, but she's heading over to, like, probably search for Xavier and everyone else. You know, maybe at some point she's heard about the mansion and the school somewhere in Westchester County, and this professor putting people together with special abilities. So clearly she's got some kind of a goal going out there. So I'm like, you know, did Peter unknowingly create the fucking collar? That's what's crazy, you know? Like, nothing happens in these movies and in this universe without some kind of intention. And with Doomsday coming out and mutants being included in the movie, because we've seen Mystique and Gambit in the trailer, and there's talk now after D23 of, you know, Wolverine getting involved. We know we've got Cyclops and Emma Frost. I call her Emma Stone. Emma Frost. I'm thinking of the diamond form. Yeah, Emma Frost coming into the picture. I'm just worried that Peter was kind of like the one who kind of created that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I feel like that was totally intentional, not just for the story of this particular movie, but the entire MCU. Anyway, you got anything else?
I think it's a very interesting setup, like not just for a superhero movie, but a movie in general. for like the first section, essentially, of the movie, like a little more than halfway into it, like maybe 2/3 or more into the movie, where you have one goal and then the goal completely changes because of a huge twist.
Right.
Where, in the beginning, the very beginning, you would assume probably that Scorpion would be the antagonist, but he's pretty minor. He plays a pretty minor role in the movie.
He's just basically used.
Kind of there as a puppet for Jean, as like the main like actual villain, like psychologically manipulating Peter by like putting all these people in danger that she goes into the minds of and all that. Even
that was brilliantly
herself.
done too, like how her mind passes from one body to another. Like I know they kind of did a choreography with that, with all the people involved, and you kind of feel bad for Scorpion at one point when he's beating the shit out of him and he's like, Spider-Man? He's like, fuck, what am I doing here? He's like just seeing himself beat up, fighting Spider-Man, and then, that scary moment when Peter almost hurts the cop, and he's like, what the fuck is going on?
He did hurt her. He
almost killed her. I also liked his relationship with the cop. What was her name? I forget. The one with the kids. The one that talks to him throughout the movie.
I forget.
I don't know, but we've seen it twice and we still can't remember her fucking name. That kind of like reminded me of the games. How he's not only talks to his friends and the smart classmate throughout the game with the device, but he also connects with someone from the police department, and somebody's like knowingly out there protecting him from the force, and like keeping it safe out there for him and keeping him informed with everything that's going on. So that was a nice back and forth relationship. I thought his relationship with the city of New York in general was cute too. You know, that really emotional moment when he leaves the hospital and Fred takes in for him. That was really funny. But he actually gets to experience like what people think about him and feel about him as fans. And that the city loves him. I thought that was... We
kind of veered a little off topic from what I was talking about before, but
that's fine.
Like
we're just kind of all over the place. Just,
the second, I guess, like segment of the movie is realizing that Damage Control were really the antagonists, truthfully, because they were trying to take Jean's power and use it the same way they do with other villains.
And they killed her sister.
Like, you see them using like shockers things and everything. Their whole thing is, sort of taking dangerous things and converting them into something that can be weaponized for the good of society.
That reminds me of Invincible.
Converting that energy. Problem with that is that they go a little too far sometimes.
Well, that's something Peter says when he goes into the Department of Damage Control. He's like, be careful with those, like shockers, gloves. It's like, it's not, and them using the hand too, like originally they were criminals that you were supposed to stop, but now all of a sudden they're working for you. Like, it's kind of...
They also murdered Jean's older sister, Sarah. Subjected her to horrible, like torture, experimentation and all that. And that's... I like
that they did that too, because she's not present, I believe, in all the comics. It's only certain iterations.
That's sort of where the whole like VMAX thing comes in, because they keep saying VMAX the whole movie, and you think that's some like crazy thing.
Even Yelena, the bathhouse thing was funny. Even Yelena's like VMAX. Maybe it's some kind of alien technology or something.
Nobody has any idea
it's just a fucking vent, man.
What Jean or Peter are talking about whenever they mention that.
Like he genuinely didn't know. I thought he was lying.
It turns out it's just a vent, because that was the last thing that Sarah saw when she died, and she sent out the last message, like
that was the kind of set off for Jean's ability to increase too, because her anger kind of like led her to like, you know what? Oh, because they had this whole thing where like she could only reach 33 to 40 feet around her with her mind, but after that she could just go anywhere. And I'm like, this is crazy how they're setting it up, because she's so young. She's a teenager, right? So if she's this powerful as a teenager, like the sky's the limit for her later
Well,
on
I
as an
I
adult.
don't think she's a teenager, like early 20s, around
Maybe,
the same age
yeah.
that Peter is. 'Cause
But
Peter
still, by
has
the
to
time
be-
she reaches her 30s and 40s, I mean, that's
Yeah.
technically when she can become the Phoenix.
she might be like a couple years older than me, like around the age
Mm-hmm.
Peter is right now.
Mm.
Like end of college sort of age, like
Yeah,
somewhere
maybe.
around there, like 22,
She
23.
could be a little bit younger than Peter, but who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could be the same age. I guess we'll find out in the X-Men movie, right? Yeah, it's just all around, like, just really, really good stuff throughout the movie. We thought that everything they did with Jean, it just made sense for her to, like, you know, come off as the villain in the beginning, and then it turns out she's not, because that's just true for all the history of the X-Men. And with somebody like Jean, she can be very dangerous, especially when she takes Phoenix form. She can be deadly, and something a lot of other mutants as powerful as Xavier have trouble wrestling with. So it made sense for them to do that. You know, and in the end, you know, Peter telling her, "You're not alone in this," just like I'm not alone in this. You have me as a friend. It's
Yeah.
just so cool that there's that connection now between Spider-Man and the X-Men, and
Yeah, the scene with Aunt May and all that.
yeah, that was really great. How, you know,
It's
she
not.
connected with May.
It's not because of your powers
him.
that you're like valuable. It's who you are.
Yeah,
That's
and the
another.
people that
like,
love you.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
another,
that's what
like,
makes
core
you
thing in the
special.
movie.
I think it's the first time she's felt that way, and that Peter and May's memory made her feel that way, because the whole time it just seemed like, you know, the Department of Justice,
Damage
the
control.
Department of Damage Control, yeah, Department of Justice can be questionable these days too. Damage Control,
Her own mother too, like.
yeah,
abandoned
her mother gave them up, right? As soon
Yeah.
as she was afraid of their change and everything, like, she was just feeling this whole time that all anyone wanted was just her abilities, you know, her mutant abilities, but they were kind of forgetting who she was as a person. So I felt that was a very sweet moment. It just kind of hit everything, like emotionally, as far as action went. I know there's a couple of people that said that there wasn't enough action in it, which I think is kind of crazy, because
Yeah.
there was more than enough action between everything that Jean did, what was going on with Punisher, the chase scenes throughout the city, the whole moment inside the jail. There was plenty of action.
Yeah.
The effect too, where she kind of reaches everybody with her mind. In that moment where the dog is separated from the owner, I thought that effect was like really brilliantly done. Just Peter's relationship with MJ and Ned, him getting to, like, you know, connect with his friends again, and at the end we see that, you know, he truly, it seems like Ned remembered him, not just because
Yeah,
MJ
that's-
mentioned the name Peter, but I think he actually remembered him through the handshake.
That was the implication that I
Yeah,
got.
and there's also the theory that the moment Jean got into their brains when she did that wave, she might have unlocked something that had been blocked from the magic spell. So she
Maybe.
might have unlocked something, because you see what she did to Bruce.
Yeah.
He was like, the other guy's coming. He broke my mind. You know, I can't control him. So her, by being in the mind, she unlocked something that maybe had been closed.
Yeah.
So I saw somebody say in a video that was maybe why MJ was crying
Yeah.
when she was being controlled or stopped by Jean. And that's the reason she went back on the rooftop to hold the black dahlia that was broken. Because remember, that was the necklace that Peter gave her. It's very possible that they both remember now, but maybe for Ned it came back quicker. I don't know. I guess we'd have to see in another movie what's going on with that. But Ned definitely remembered him at the end. I just love how those relationships developed, and their little moment where they were trying to build a little Star Wars thing, and they had a quote from the Lord of the Rings movie.
Yeah.
It was such like a friendship thing to do, you know, like two nerds who were best friends. It's like really cool. And I thought Zendaya's moment on the rooftop too, where she was taken over by Jean, and, you know, the kiss and everything, and then her acting to change from you know, MJ kissing him to actually, oh, it was me, Jean. MJ was never here. Just go ahead, touch her,
Yeah.
hug her. I'm like, oh my god, her acting there was just So good. I mean, we
That's-
know she's a great actress. I've seen her in other
Yeah.
stuff like Euphoria and other movies, and she's just top-notch
She was able
actress.
to act like she was someone else in her own body. Like,
Yeah.
she wasn't really her.
Acting as someone else, acting as someone else. It was just so cool, man. Such a cool moment. And Tom's expression there when he's hugging her and saying, you know, and you can see the love between the two of them. I mean, these two are like husband and wife, and it's just, you know, it's such a beautiful
Yeah.
chemistry between them. I love them as a couple. I think they're cool. You know, him hugging her and crying, he's like, oh my God, I missed you so much. And then realizing that it's not her.
Yeah.
And then she just launches herself off the building and he has to like grab her. And that's also something I wanted to say. I thought it was very subtle but very sweet for those of us who've seen all the Spider-Man movies, how they were putting certain things, especially from the Tobey movies, in this movie to make you familiarized with it. You know, like even when she's about to kiss him and she lifts up the mask halfway, it kind of felt like the kiss between Kirsten and Tobey.
Yeah.
And then the web reaching out and it almost looks like a little hand was Andrew's moment with Emma.
Yeah.
You know, and even him like getting used to shooting the web and being on the rooftop and having to shoot it out. You know what I mean? Him coming into his organic webbing.
Nice, like,
yeah, it was
callbacks.
nods to, you know, like I said before, nods to the video games, the relationship with
I
the
would say-
detective, and even him riding the train home sometimes. That's from the video games. Those of you who've played the Spider-Man
I would
games,
say
it's
most
so cute.
most of this movie is like paying respect to Toby's
other-
the second Sam Raimi movie with Doc Ock,
Yeah.
because like Peter's whole incident with like his powers acting up due to stress, because the whole, like, you know,
that was in it too.
spiders being
Him falling
stressed
off the
thing
building,
and them
hitting
like
his back.
yeah.
All of that, yeah.
This movie is very similar to Spider-Man 2
And
from
that's-
2004. So.
Yeah, in that aspect, it has other things that
Yeah.
are completely different, but
Yeah, but
it's
in
just
that
those
aspect,
nice nods, you know.
that element is very
So you're like, oh, that's well, I feel
except
that.
with Toby, he just lost like his powers completely.
Yeah.
In general, he had to just go back to being a normal dude for a little.
With Tom Spider-Man, it was increased.
It was increased, but he couldn't control it.
Because that moment where he, you know, comes to terms with his ability and he says, I'm both, I'm Peter and I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's just so cool when, you know, those beams that are supposed to destroy his spider webs don't work anymore because he's just so much stronger and tougher. We were talking about that too. I kind of really hope he keeps the organic webbing, because that was something that we were discussing with one of my nephews. Like, you think he's going to go back to like the web shooters and everything? I'm like, I don't know. Like, it would be cool for him to keep organic webbing. You know what I mean? Just learn how to master it and control it, because clearly him tapping into more of his spider DNA allows him to be much stronger and his senses to be much sharper. That was also another cool moment when he's fighting the hand in the jail.
Yeah.
Where one of the what do they call the shuriken? When, me pretending to know anything.
You can call them ninja stars, I guess, but that's
But I wanted the name. But when it's going like slow-mo in front of his face, that kind of reminds me of the punch Flash Thompson gives Toby. He kind of slows down and looks at it. I'm like, yeah, that was a nod to the first Spider-Man movie. Yeah, that was just really cool. You know, I really hope he keeps the organic webbing and allows a little bit of his spider DNA to like come to the surface to a point where it doesn't get harmful, you know, and he doesn't turn into that man spider thing that's in the comics where he like just grows a bunch of like legs out of his body. I wouldn't like that visually. I don't like spiders, but funny, I don't like spiders, but I love Spider-Man. You got anything else to add? You want to leave it here? Yeah, I think we'll leave it here, guys. That's, you know, just all in all, we just fucking love this movie, and I'm probably gonna get it on Blu-ray format when it comes out, because I want to see more behind the scenes and stuff. And I just enjoyed every moment from start to finish. Like we said, we loved all the nods, we loved all the acting, all the visuals, just the storytelling. Just give us more of this type of Marvel, you know. I'm hoping that the Doomsday movie is kind of like this, right? Don't just shove characters in there just for the sake of shoving characters in there. Just give them meaning and just make it an all-around wonderful package.
Yeah.
You know? Anyway, guys, comment down below. Let us know what your favorite parts of the movie were. Yeah, and you know, if you are interested in this uncut, unedited reaction, it is going to be available on Patreon at patreon.com/Valentina's watching. Otherwise, stay here with us on YouTube, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notified when we upload more reviews or reactions to movies on this channel. We have plenty of TV shows, live action, and anime on here for you to check out. With that said, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.